Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. As always here, I'm your host, Calvin Glen Alexander, hence the name, and I'm joined by my co-host today, Trey Florence, as we go through a variety of topics. I do want to say, Trey, we have now been doing a podcast together for a while, but we actually started the Commentary Radio Show over a decade ago. Check out my Instagram if you're curious. But we've got Jax as the number one seed, outdoor ball, baseball, and softball, and how they did this weekend. Hoops up for women's hoops, of course, and men's hoops is not making March Madness. We did not make it to the NCAA tournament. That's probably a lot of thought. I had a chance to go to the Oklahoma State Football Coaches Clinic, so talk more about that a little bit as well. Why did Drew Messmaker start in high school? It's a pretty simple answer, but I want to get into it. I haven't seen anyone cover that too in-depthly yet. Best spring break. What's your best spring break? Oklahoma State's on spring break right now. And spring sports, ranking which of the spring sports, baseball, softball, track, golf, tennis, all that we want to rank, and the ones that we care about here. And I think I have a trivia question.
The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Calvin Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters most.
All right, Trey, welcome back. How's it going?
Oh, surviving this wind, that's for sure. It's been so windy. I'm like nearly everything blew away, I feel like.
Yeah, that 59-mile-per-hour gust is a rough deal here. I want to circle back to a photo I posted on my Instagram a decade ago, March 12th. It's March 12th, 2016 here. Mm-hmm. Just in case you're curious, we have been doing the podcast here now for quite some time together.
Look how young we were. It was before I had this magical beard and glasses, and man, I remember that room. That room was so tiny, but I had like my space, you had your space, and we were like, all right, we got to look up everything before the radio show starts.
We had a big soundboard, like legitimately the biggest soundboard ever to go live on the internet. I know the soundboard at one point in the Oakley had the ability to go live on the radio, but it did not for students, of course, probably for good reasoning. I'm not sure we were reading all of the rules on all of that type of stuff as college sophomores, seniors, juniors, your senior year. My first of my 3 senior years. But either way, it was a lot of fun. Love doing the radio show. Thought I'd bring it back up. It's been a decade since Calvin and Trey Radio Show. Hi, I'm Calvin.
I'm Trey.
And there we go. So anyways, Jax Forrest, number one overall seed here. It's been well said. The guy is supposed to be in high school, going to prom here soon, be on his high school spring break, etc. But when you hear, hey, Jax Forrest, number one overall seed, heading to NCAA, regional finals, etc. What do you think?
I mean, it's just he's trying to look for that fairy tale ending for a perfect season that he's basically had. So I'm super excited for him. He's just tearing it up. Super excited. We'll see if he can finish up right now. He's 13-0, so let's see if he can be perfect. It'd be great, and then that just kind of starts building his career at OSU. There's not much more I could say besides because we keep harping on him, and he's just been so phenomenal, and it's just like I don't know how we picked him up. It's just been great, and I love it.
Gotta say it is quite awesome, and I want to say Jax Forrest has lost to two American names here, Thomas Gilman, and Marcus Blaze, and he's also lost to a 4 name that I am going to try my best to pronounce here, but I think it's Aslan Yesingildi. Dave is tough. He's in Kazakhstan. So anyways, but those are the 3 guys. Like he is 19. He was born in 06. So like my youngest brother is younger than him because my brother Luke was born in 07. But it's not as though like, hey, this guy's 17. I don't make it out to be like, oh my gosh, cannot believe he's but he is, he is 19 years old. Like he's the same age I was when I was in college. Like I was 19. I was 19 in August of, freshman year. So I was 19 before I started. And I mean, he's about the same. He's 19. He turned 19 in October of last year. So, I mean, he'll be 20 in his sophomore year as a wrestler. It's not as crazy of an age difference thing that I thought it would be, but it is still, hey, this guy could still be in high school in Pennsylvania, enjoying his wrestling high school season too. So it is pretty wild in my opinion.
He's definitely handling the pressure very well. That's for sure. Especially like going from like a high school to OSU where we have all the, I say we really do go out whenever you have like the pyros, the smoke, the music that come in, they even get cowboy hats now. They've changed it every single year, I feel like. So it just depends on the guy. So he's really handled the pressure very well. And I'm very proud to see this. He just has a phenomenal career if he keeps it up, I feel like.
I definitely agree. And if anyone's curious here, we just try to get some more research. I would listen to the Dynasty Defined podcast for more wrestling information, all things Oklahoma State there. But his full name is Jackson, Jaxen, Patrick Forrest. So, the more you know. I mean, it's our other podcast for Oklahoma State Sports covering the full name of Jax Forrest. Maybe.
I think I like the Jax Forrest. It sounds more edgy.
Yeah, well, and he's from Pennsylvania. I mean,
yeah.
He's kind of like for whatever reason, we had all these like Gundy assistant coaches, like from Shippensburg or wherever around Pennsylvania. It was like, wait, what's going on? Is a guy from Gannon University coming to Stillwater? And like, isn't that from Pennsylvania? So some Oklahoma State, Pennsylvania ties are definitely abound. Best way I'd say it. So I don't know if you missed it here. I didn't miss it, unfortunately. But Oklahoma State baseball and softball this weekend, rough deal. Baseball got swept here against UCF, and the last podcast I did was not with you, actually. It was with O State Daily and Casey, which Casey Porter and I went over all the Oklahoma State stuff needs to know. It was really where I was interviewing him for all of his Oklahoma State takes, what he thinks is going to happen this season, etc. Listen, losing the one Friday night by one, walk off, it is really tough. And then losing the one today by one is also
very tough.
Tough luck, but like, I'd say let's just get some more Big 12 games under our belt here before we think it's all doom and gloom. And there are a lot of what I've noticed here especially with baseball. There are a lot of people on social media, on X especially, are Poke Fan 68. Like they're not Calvin Glen or Trey Florence or whatever, right? They're not someone's name with a photo of them or a caricature of what they look like if they were a podcast logo, for example.
Smooth transition there.
I did. And they're also not one of those things where you're like, oh, you know what? I can recognize who you are and it's tagged to something. But it seems like there are a lot more of those accounts that are talking baseball, that are going at Oklahoma State, like at Chief, at whoever, and going, we're, whatever. We suck. I can't believe it. Bang on the table, etc. On one hand, I get it. Josh Holliday's been around for 14 years, and we honestly don't have a ton to talk about as of recent baseball success.
Yeah.
Totally get that. That's in one hand. The other hand, I think Holliday knows. Like, I think Holliday is trying to do stuff. I don't think that Rob Walton retires if it's, hey, we're good for another 5 years. Like, right. I don't think he retires. Maybe he does. I don't know. I am fully hoping that when Oklahoma State guys that I like and respect year over year and have been with the program for a while say they're retiring, they are retiring, not being pushed out. I do hope that's the case. But there's a real high concentration of these Oklahoma State fans or Oklahoma State social media accounts or whatever, that are anonymous accounts that are just going, we suck. I'm so sick and tired of this team. I don't know if you feel that same way or if you've noticed the same thing or not.
I mean, we already made that kind of prediction at the beginning of the year that we're going to be like the middle of the pack. It would be great if we go to a regional or host a regional and everything like that. So I'm not too worried yet. Like, I'd be more worried if we're deeper in the season. Like, we're at least been relatively competitive. We've been close whenever we lost most games. I put that as an asterisk because most games we always have like a 1-run loss or something like that. Besides Arizona and something like, and the early season. So I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful. I think it's our pitching is still our issue. And I know that we've harped on it last week too, where we just have a new pitching coach. So that's part of the issue. I'm going to be more interested once we play Baylor, see how that series goes. And then that's kind of like where I can kind of give a little bit more like doom and gloom if we need to. But right now I feel like people are a little bit of overreacting because baseball is a hard sport to be, constantly competitive and being up at the top and everything like that because they play so many games. I mean, if you think about just in general, baseball like MLB or, AAA or anything like that, most teams only go over 500, about maybe 60% win rate type of thing. So it's like, I'm not too worried about it because that's just how baseball is. It's just, you got to get lucky on your pitching rotation sometimes. I know college kind of has more of a gap between what like MLB does, and that's why you have all those multiple stands and everything like that. Yeah. I know. But at least for right now, I'm not too worried. We're still in that 60% range, which I'm okay with. If we drop below 500, that's whenever I'm going to be like, what's going on here, guys?
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think baseball is a sport that you can just take lightly, or also baseball is one of the few sports that I think you could have back-to-back days and it could go completely different. Just there could be so many other things going on.
Right.
You could have an ace one day out there who is the top of the line, the best player on their team, etc., and the guy behind him be half as good as he is and just not be comparable. And I'm not saying that's the case. Aiden Miola's had a great year so far. Colin Roche's had a great year so far. But through this, we have not gotten to halfway into the games in our season yet. Mm-hmm. We are now, I believe, 19 games into the season. We have 20 plus new additions to this baseball team in personnel and players. And we all have that with guys trying to figure out their spot in the lineup, trying to figure out their spot in the pitching rotation, trying to figure out, et cetera, et cetera. And also, no one's been able to tell me what secret sauce UCF has against us as a program, just like as a whole university. It seems weird because I don't think UCF is extremely high in NIL. I don't think they're extremely high in donor spending on stuff. But that's on the surface level. When I try to dig deeper and think about it, UCF is pumping out 70,000 student body population just on campus every school year. Like that's what they have. They have 70,000 students. I don't know how many they graduate. I'm not trying to get to graduation rate and stuff. I'm trying to say is they clearly have a huge student body population that is going to create an immense mass of people that are alumni or at least alumni related. And then you have alumni donations. And also you're talking about a program that not too long ago was not in the Power Four, was not playing at this level, not playing FBS level in football. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about a program that was not too long ago was, hey, you guys have your fun Mickey Mouse parade because you went undefeated and you beat Auburn in a bowl game in football. And now all of a sudden, you seem to be kind of competitive at everything. So when I dig a little bit deeper, it's like, why would they have the NIL funds? Why wouldn't they have all of this? I get in football, they're in a different category right now as far as it comes to recruiting than other recruiting that's going on across the Big 12. Like their recruiting level is not on the Oklahoma State's level for football.
Right.
But why wouldn't it be at least close in baseball and other sports when every team now has all the same equipment? Like it's not, hey, Oklahoma State has all the great coaches that can do all the great things and get to the majors. Well, in all due respect, I think that's the one area.
Right.
Every other area, Hawkeye tracking, what cages, what cage technology has advanced so much that it's crazy they can do that, or at UCF or in Stillwater regularly get these players going. And some programs are just getting all transfers and some are getting high school guys coming in. I mean, there's the have and the have nots, and I think we're in the haves, but I think so many other programs, including UCF, are also in the haves at this point.
Right. I mean, if you think about it, would you rather go to Orlando, Florida, or Stillwater, Oklahoma? I mean, there's a beach just a few miles away from them, so I could see that's also a perk too.
You're not going to persuade the guy who second graduated from college, moved to San Diego away from that. I mean, yeah, no, I'm 110% in agreement there. Like they have, yeah, we've got O'Brate. I think O'Brate is maybe the nicest ballpark in the Big 12. If not, it's really, really high up there. Don't get me wrong. But also, it's in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Like when spring break happens, and all of a sudden the commute to work is shorter for every single person in a town of 50,000 people. Like 50,000 people in school session. The commute for spring break gets just shorter when the commute's already 10 minutes to start out with. Like it just is. And I'm not going to be so naive to go, you know what, in the NIL world, why wouldn't you go to Stillwater? Like we've got Nolan McLean, who's starting the World Baseball Classic a couple days ago. We've got, who's the other Mets guy that I just blanked on here? I'm sorry. But the other Mets prospect that Oklahoma State had come through our system, the tall, I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, but I'll figure it out in a second.
I'm trying to
Google thanks. It. Yeah. Hey, we're getting players to the major leagues. Like, why wouldn't you want to come to Stillwater? But also, you go play in the SEC, has so many teams contending every single year. You go play in the Big Ten. That's, I don't think, that great of a baseball conference comparatively. But you're really going to tell me that you think Kansas? Like, there's so much have and have nots here in conference play as well too. That maybe you'd really might want to play at UCF for a year or two, see how it goes in baseball, and then go to the pros or not. I mean, you got all the opportunities to go wherever and do whatever. Baseball is the one where you don't have to wait 3 years for, college football. You don't have to wait even a year. And you can go if you want to go play baseball instead of, you got drafted. I'm still going to get,
they could come back. They could come back and play football if they want to, aka Brandon Whedon.
Yeah, a very nice deal. Yeah. I mean, just one of those more up and downs, and I'm not trying to say the whole season's done. It is weird to me that there are this many haters. Social media accounts that are out there going, well, I cannot believe that this team. I'm like, did you think we had a number 1 overall recruiting class? Did you think that we had a number 1 overall or a top 3 Big 12 program this year? Because if you did, nothing will back you up on why our expectations were like that from our recruiting, from our donations, from our preseason rankings. Nothing will back you up on top 3 in the Big 12 finish. Nothing. If you thought we'd do a lot better than we are right now, fine, because we're 0-3 in conference, but we've played 3 games in conference. So
I think the Gundy, Eric Morris effect is happening to other sports that have had coaches that have been around for a little bit, not saying that we want to get rid of Holiday, but they're tired of being just mediocre / having struggling years, which we've had a few ones. So, I mean, I get it. I can see why they're like, oh, I just saw Mike Gundy just get released and now we have Eric. And now it's just like our program just got turned around instantly. So I don't think that's going to happen in baseball because it's going to be harder in baseball than football. Football is where all the money's coming from. So they can do a little bit more than what I'm sure Holiday is doing as much as he possibly can. But, there's always that what if category. So I feel like that's why you're getting you see so much of the haters now is because of that.
Yeah, because the one thing that can change real quickly and easily is a head coach.
Yep.
It's hard to change recruits. Yep. I mean, hard to really know. I mean, you can get a 5-star guy, but he could not pan out.
Right.
I mean, it's just so many ups and downs with it. Yeah. Also talk about softball here. Went 2-1 on the weekend. Don't love to see that overall when the expectations are finish top of the Big 12.
Right.
In all honesty, that is kind of one of the things here that I'm a little bit annoyed by. And excuse me, no. Yeah, because we did beat Arizona State today. So
I mean, the two losses were very close. So that's a good news. It was a good. I don't know. Are we ranked in softball? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we're either number 20. I think we might be number 25 or just right at it. I said we're 2-1. I meant we're 1-2. Arizona State won the first 2 matchups here. My apologies.
Yeah, it just because I think Arizona State's currently 25, but I don't know. So I mean, it's neck and neck either way. I know that we want to do a little bit better. I think, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with a close loss at it's an away game. I mean, the only thing I don't really understand was why one of the games went 2 and 3 and 8 innings. That's the part I don't understand.
Well, we had
extra innings.
Yep, softball's played 7.
That's
extra,
it. Yeah.
Find out. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, that just looks odd, but okay, that makes sense. So, I mean, if we're going in extra innings against the first game and then just barely losing, and then we do 4-0, I think we're going to be okay. It just, I wish we could have probably turned some of that around, but once again, it's kind of like the same thing with baseball. You can't win them all. I know everybody wants to win them all, but I feel like there's just too many factors involved with baseball and softball. Once again, we're still at like a 66.7% winning, so I'm okay with it right now.
I am too. I don't think it's time to really call out all hell broke loose. It's crazy. Can't believe it. Whatever. Going into it, it's funny here in the RPI rankings and stuff like that. They're just not as updated. Like ESPN.com does not have this updated through after March 8th or 9th. So after that, who knows where we're ranked? The RPI rankings that are through the 14th, we're ranked 30th in the country. I'm in softball. And the other rankings here that are from the 8th and 9th were like 15th. So softball, no one's going to tell me, hey, you should be happy with where you're at. It's a Big 12 title expectation every single year, especially now that OU is not in the conference. But 2 and 4 through conference, 2 and 4 in conference through 6 games is okay. It's not fantastic. We need a lot more offense.
We do.
Like a win 2-1 is real tough luck, and our bats need to come alive. Ruby's been pitching her ass off, just in all honesty. So, I keep looking at the wrong games here, but 2 and 3. I mean, you got to put more runs here. Like that's just got to be what it is. I'm curious how this midweek game here Tuesday against Grand Canyon is going to go, and of course the BYU game on Thursday. Like, can you beat these unranked teams that are coming into Stillwater and go, hey, you know what? We've got a Thursday through Saturday series. Let's get out to Cowgirl Stadium, really pack it out, and take down BYU, who is, for all intents and purposes, from what I understand, not a great program. In softball. So, like, can you win the ones you should? Yeah.
And then, of course, Tulsa's the next week. And, of course, we all love Tulsa right now. So
we do?
No, as like sarcasm, because, our football program kind of fell apart once we played them. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, no, yeah. Tulsa's not ranked, as far as I can tell. So, I think we do love Tulsa. They started the whole thing, right? They started this slide. Tulsa is 156th in the country in RPI as of today, March 14th. So we're recording on the 15th. So in case you were curious here and you wanted your Tulsa softball RPI rankings as of March 14th, 150s is where the rank at. As far as kind of hoops here, the men's team, their chance at Great National Championship is done.
Yep,
it's been done since
a while.
Well, it's been officially done since Wednesday. Since against TCU, they could have won the Big 12 tournament, then could have gone on, but of course they did not.
Hey, I'm glad that they did at least won against Colorado, and they put up a pretty good fight against TCU. Now the whole LED board conspiracy now of like where they're playing on that LED floor.
What would you think about the LED floor? Are you a fan of it just from a TV viewership? What was your?
I mean, it was a cool, different experience. It put eyeballs on the Big 12, obviously. The whole women's side didn't have an issue with it. I mean, they kind of complained a little bit here and there, but then, of course, the men are like, oh, no, we can't do anything. So we can't play to the championship games, that type of thing. That's the part that irritated me. I get it because supposedly if you're on that LED floor and you're trying to do quick burst and powerful moves all at once, you slip more. And so it doesn't happen so much to the ladies, supposedly. I don't buy it 100%, but also I get it too. Like, I get that we probably want to play on a wooden floor because that's what we've always done for the whole entire season. I think it's a cool concept. I'm glad we tried it. Will we ever do it again? Probably not. Not until the floor feels a lot more like a wooden basketball court.
The tape stuff, they're taping up the seams so it's more level.
Yeah.
That would have been a hey.
Red flag.
Well, that to me is more of a red flag in like the who okayed this originally, because you had to know there would be like a gap in the floor, and maybe it was more of a gap in the execution than you thought in the promise. So
And the movement
whatever.
of players and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, one, I cannot believe they had the women's teams play on this court the whole time. Didn't see an issue with it at all. And then when the men's teams got out there, they're like, "Ooh, guy went down with an injury. Now let's do it." I'm like,
Yeah.
you change it before somebody gets injured the rest of the tournament. Now, I will say, it was one heck of a really cool video board. It's like 1,000 whatever inch TV. If you can get it mounted on the side of your house, go for it. I would have loved to see it be the perimeter of a court with the actual hardwood court being in the middle.
Yeah.
That would have been cool for whatever you want to do. I understand it's a big sponsorship deal. Great. But gosh, the colors of it made it look so dull and not as appealing. Like, oh, cool, the 3-point light, the 3-point line lights up when the guy makes a three. All right, hey, that's a little fun, gimmicky type of deal. That's the fun kind of thing. That's why you do this.
I did like that they, like pre-games did like the different teams, that was cool. So you can kind of still feel like it's a home court type of thing. But I like
make the center paint part under each basket the color of the team.
Yep.
Is that too add a little bit of color besides the logo, besides the sponsorship logos? Maybe that was too far-fetched. I don't know. But make it pop more. Make the line around the paint, the teams. Do something with color, man. You've got a screen. Color is a tap of an iPad away, as we were told. Just why was color so tough here? Why do you have a black and white screen on the court? Just why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it was a cool concept. I don't think they should have done it for a tournament. Maybe do it as a preseason tournament or something like that. See if it works there and then maybe implement it. But I don't know. It was a cool idea. I like the idea. Maybe it's just too early of a thing. Maybe we'll see it maybe 5-10 years down the road type of thing. Because I'm sure as soon as the NBA saw that, I'm sure they said, "Ka-ching, give me all that paid sponsorship."
Yeah, without a doubt. It's all for sponsorships. It just was not used. Of course, the issue I'd have with it would not be actually the court. It would be how it's displayed on TV, because it's for TV. If it's to increase TV viewership and for more TV eyeballs to get on it, then do it better for TV.
Yeah.
If it's instead for in-person, ultimate stuff, whatever, then, hey, apparently it looked pretty cool in person. Just sucks that the court was not the same material to play on. Sucks that some guys were getting headaches or migraines from light shining up in their eyes. Also, how often do you ever have light shining up underneath your eyes? That seems like a very odd deal too. I'm sure it's unnatural. I wish they got a chance to plan it more. Apparently when we did go down to UCF, we drove over as a team. Steve Lutz said this in an interview, drove over 30, 40 minutes away to go try out the court and see how it was. And they're like, not fantastic, but not horrible. I'm sure you and I have played on worse courts outdoors with more dust on them or whatever.
Yep.
We're not NCAA athletes, so it's fine, because we're not going to tear in our Achilles because it's a different type of court material. Which is totally accurate. I'm not being sarcastic at all. I'm just being truthful. Back to the Big 12 tournament, though, and how we did here for men's. Women's hoops, as we're recording this, the bracket came out. We are the women's hoops here real quick. We are the 8th seed going up against Princeton on March 20th. So shout out.
I think
it says 20th on it. So I'm going to go with 20th.
Let me update.
And then another site says 20th, 21st. So let's say 21st here. I think that's where 21st is. I think the tournament starts the 20th. Excuse me. So
Sacramento.
But down in the men's, what do you think of the season? What's your worse than expectations, better than expectations? What do you think of men's basketball season?
I think we thought at the very beginning of the season we were very hyped for it because we were, going on that great win streak. Come to find out, we didn't really play anybody. Yeah, A&M's doing all right, but as soon as we played OU, I feel like that was whenever we started seeing the true nature of the team. And of course, like, we had injuries out the galore with, Fala in and out of the lineup. I feel like almost every other week it felt like, but I mean, I hate to say it. It's what I've kind of expected with OSU basketball. It's just like, it's there. It's there, and it's kind of entertaining, and we get one major upset every single season. We just haven't been in the tournament, and it feels like forever. So there's a lot to desire more with the basketball program right now. Kind of like what we said a couple of weeks ago. We got to make it to the tournament or find somebody new.
Yeah, in my opinion, you get in the recruiting class next year. You get in two McDonald's All-American type of guys. You get in Jalen Monotti, who set a record for his high school scoring totals in a game and in a whole career. He scored 50 plus in a game this season in high class, I think it's 4A or 5A basketball. So, like, he scored 56. He had 15 threes in a game. The guys should be able to light it up. We should not have a shooting issue next year.
Right.
Jalen Monotti. Then Latrell Almond, I think, won his fourth high school championship in a row. Insane. Like, unheralded success here. It is to me the make it or break it year for Steve Lutz, though, next year. I don't mean to make it or break it as far as, hey, if you don't win, you're done, you got to go. But it is okay, if you don't win next year, then you're not a high school recruiter. You're a transfer guy, and we got to flip the page on Calvin Alexander getting hyped about high school recruits coming into the Steve Lutz program. Yeah. To be honest, just because these are two really highly touted recruits, and they don't pan out in year one, I hope it's not injury related, knock on wood here. I hope it's nothing else related. But, like, guys are coming in the door, getting a little bit better, and then by the end of the season, they're not where they were at all. I think if Parsifala is healthy and plays out the rest of the season, honestly, I don't think we beat Houston. Maybe we beat Cincinnati, but that seems real far-fetched. We almost lost by 30 to begin with here. We lost by 20 plus, but still. I think maybe the only two things that are different here is that we win against West Virginia and UCF in regulation as opposed to overtime.
Yeah.
Like it follows back. And then maybe we also beat TCU. We, on the basketball season, we beat a couple of different teams that made the NCAAs, like March Madness here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we beat BYU. I think that's our best one of the season. I think it's probably the best ranked, highest ranked. That wasn't a 1 seed in March Madness, not a 2, not a 3, not a 4, not a 5, but a 6 seed in March Madness is our best win. A&M ended up being a 7th seed overall. So it's a tough look, to be honest. It just is not something I'm really proud of or excited about. It also looks like that all three Oklahoma D1 schools are not making it to March Madness here, OU, Tulsa, and Oklahoma State. But yeah, it's not a season I'll look back on with a lot of affection or glowingly. We were 13-2 at one point. Before we lost 2 straight in the Big 12. We opened up Big 12 play with a win. We're 13-0 at home until we played, Baylor at home.
Yeah,
Big 12 season 2 for a second home Big 12 game.
Yep.
So it's a tough deal. Like, I am not excited about men's basketball right now and see the program, but I know I'll get excited because of the higher touted recruits. I know I'll be hyping us up a lot next year as we go into next season. I really hope that some of the guys that are the Isaiah Colemans, the Victorious Millers, the Kanye Clarys, I hope all of them return, because right now as it stands, you know what? We need them.
Yep.
We need them.
We need something.
Yeah. So, all right, women's hoops wise here.
Woo!
Not going to ask you off the top of your head if you've done a lot of research over Princeton. This literally has come out since we started the podcast here. But in draws around, we're an 8 seed. What do you think?
I'm okay with the 8 seed. I feel like it was either going to be an 8 or 9 seed, so I'll take an 8 seed. I mean, we don't have an easy bracket, which is just like, say we do beat Princeton. I don't think we're going to beat UCLA, just because of how well they've been playing this year. So it's going to be at least we made it to the tournament. You never know what will happen. Maybe they play on some LED floors. Just kidding, obviously. But I don't, it's just tough to get out of our bracket anywhere close, because it's just going to be brutal. Because like, if we beat Princeton, cool, great. We play UCLA, and that's probably going to be the end of our season. It's sad to say, but I mean, at least they made it, right? So it's better than the men. It's just not very hopeful. It just sucks whenever you, like, usually with like the women's tournament, it's pretty top tier. Like the number 1s and 2s and 3s typically are the ones that usually win the national championship. There's never really too many Cinderella stories in the women's bracket, unlike the men's. So I wish we might have a chance, but I'm just saying we won't make it past the second round.
Yeah, the heartbreaker to K-State, like that loss.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say a ref decided, because at the end of the day, like,
You could have won somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting that microscopic about play calls, then I'm sure there's ones that K-State fans call out that, went our way too during the game, and it was just back and forth. But I will say we had 4 members of the Oklahoma State men's, 4 members of the women's team, where that's when the Big 12 postseason awards. So you've got Staley Hurd, Micah Gray, Acott, and Jaden Wooden all garnered all league recognition, with Hurd earning second team honors, Gray being named to the third team, and Acott and Wooden each garnering honorable mention status. And on the men's side, Parsifal was mentioned with all, kind of honorable mention status, all conference. So there has not been a better hire in my standpoint so far than David Taylor by Chad Weiberg, but a close second is JC Hoyt. Like a very, very close second is JC Hoyt in the Weiberg tenure. And I know we did the whole kind of ranking stuff, and that was fun. But like this, JC Hoyt is leading our program in a very, very good direction for women's basketball. 16-1 at home on the season.
Not too bad.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Pretty darn incredible. And then the other things that I think of here when I see the women's team and see them playing, they have a style. They have a brand of play.
Right.
They shoot a lot of threes. And it is if you can, now that of course we're not hosting and everything like that, but get out and watch Cowgirl basketball. March 21st here, coming up here just later on this week, 6 days away, depending on when you listen to this. March 21st, those are the date I'll keep repeating. Watch some Oklahoma State women's hoops against Princeton. See how they do. It'll be on ESPN, because we know every year March Madness, it's all on TNT and CBS and Turner Sports. Well, hey, women's hoops, they're on ESPN. Check it out. Follow your brackets. We will do a CGA Tour women's bracket challenge, and I'll post that a little bit later here right after the podcast goes out. Just for fun. There won't be any necessarily winnings from it at all, except we get a shout out on the podcast if you're interested. So go Pokes.
This is where I win it again for you.
Yeah. It always sucks when Trey wins the Fantasy Football League for the podcast or the. Not really sucks. Because at this point, I know you're not going to call me out for not sending you the money, so it's a pretty good deal. Anyways, all right. Well, we got to talk about the coaches clinic that I was able to go to on Friday. So, if you don't know, I am a middle school coach, my part-time. And so I was able to go to Oklahoma State's coaches clinic hosted by Eric Morris and Sean Brophy and Sean Cassidy, etc. So it was really cool. It's a great deal. Ollie Gordon was out there. Brandon Presley was out there. Of course, they are not
there. That's cool.
Yeah, they're not trying to be coaches, but there were several past players, families, recruits, and of course, other high school and middle school coaches throughout the state. Kind of an Oklahoma coaches clinic. A lot of talk about let's keep the talent in state, not let it get out of state. If you need anything, let us know. We're an open book. Yeah, there are highlights I'd say is that I did get a chance to ask Eric Morris one question, which was how to keep players involved and entertained during film sessions. he basically was like, if you're not keeping me entertained, you're not doing your job good enough as a coach. You know, give your kid a hard time and keep moving, right? Like cut the clips a little better, do whatever. So that's my kind of question. And it is, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's a good deal. Got to go down, have a beer in the coach's football room. So
wow, you got to share a beer with Eric Morris. Look at you.
Oh yeah, if I really wanted to get all the views and clicks, but no, not at all. I mean, it's a lot of like watching game tape and like game film, and also watching like what an initial play type looks like, and then learning how it's actually being ran, learning what drills are actually being done to get those plays to be where they are. Players are going through several different drills about patience, about timing, and about immediately moving their feet underneath them as they're catching the ball to be in a sprint stance, to be in a run stance the second they get the ball in their hands. I went to the offensive one because that's where my stuff is more related here for an assistant coach. I mean, I work with tight ends, so I'm not doing any of the pass game development or skill, but there's definitely some stuff where I'm like, all right, that was really cool to see the different types of crossing routes, different type of cutback routes, different type of GT, GH, and GYs they're running throughout it, different types of counters. But
so what I'm hearing is your football team is going to be amazing next year because you will put all this into play.
Well, yes, I mean, the middle school Bethany teams last year, the 7th grade team was undefeated, and the 8th grade team lost one game.
Ah, dang.
So, but they don't play after that. There's no playoffs or anything. So, like, it's not. We have
conference, or do you have conference or no?
Well, we have conference, but like legitimately, we have a kid on our team who I am primarily the basketball coach for the middle school as well. Like, I'm not the head coach, but I'm also the assistant for the basketball. And I do a lot more with the basketball coaching than I do stay on the sideline football coaching and being around. So, like, for the basketball team, there's one kid who's the quarterback. He's the best basketball player on the 7th grade team. He would be one of the best players on the 8th grade team if we put him on the 8th grade team. He's that good. He is my height, 6'1", 6'2", whatever you want to say. He is, of course, he's in 7th grade going to 8th grade. He's way more athletic than I am, but like he just runs over everyone. Like, I need a touchdown. All right, we're just gonna have him run over everyone. Like it
works.
At the end of the day. Yep,
it works.
Yep. So. But pretty cool deal. I'd encourage anyone who has a chance to go to the coach's clinic or as a coach or whatever, hit up all of the Oklahoma State coaching staff. They are hungry and adamant about getting in and visiting other coaches and getting their film out there and getting film from other coaches as well too, to learn more as well. Like there are no closed doors. They're getting right back in this. There was talk at one point of, hey, we've had a couple bad years, but we are getting right back to where we were. Like, it's a lot of hype about that. Drew Messmaker and the highlights of him just throwing some
dimes already,
beautiful bead balls to the Wake Forest transfer, and to Wyatt Young, of course. But I mean, to Justin, Wake Forest transfer, and then to Wyatt Young, of course, Miles Coleman, just incredible. I mean, when he was throwing the ball versus when the other backup quarterbacks were throwing the ball, there is a difference. Practice got just a half a decibel quieter. Like, I don't want to take it away. It was not like a measurable thing. It was not whatever, but it was just a little bit, oh, that's Drew. All right, like, okay. And then also, like, our backup quarterbacks are also 5'11" and Drew Messmaker 6'4".
Right. Makes sense.
So, yeah. Brody Veers is, I think he's 5'11". I'm correct. So like, yeah, and I think he's the UMass. No, I think he's the recruit. Brought from Arizona. But like, I'm not in football roster recruiting off the top of my head here. I don't have memorized just yet. I'll try to work on that a little bit here as we get close to that season. But for right now, like, it was great to go, great to attend. They're rolling out the red carpet, or the orange carpet, I should say, for us. And just a great deal. Like, got the laid back chance to ask questions of other coaches and what they've been through, and other coaches who are younger than me. I mean, you think about the GM for Oklahoma State football is 25 or 26. I think he was 24 when he was hired at North Texas. And I'll tell you what, Raj Murdy was running it. He was the one announcing things. He was the one progressing everything through. Yeah, he's the one directing coach where to go, type of stuff and everything like that. And he was not the youngest guy there, because there was another coach I saw with who's 20 or 21. But like, well done. They did a great job.
Well done. Golf
Yeah.
clap.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And also I have a trivia question for you, Trey.
Oh,
I'll
from the
ask
coach's
you.
clinic.
Well, no, from Why Didn't Drew? So
Oh, okay.
I'm going to switch it up. Yeah, Why Didn't Drew? The trivia question is, do you know who started over Drew Messmaker, what college he went to? Why didn't Drew Messmaker start in high school? Like the 6'4" guy who's National Player of the Year, walk-on wise, transferred to Oakland State, getting $7 million a year. Excuse me, $3.5 million, but $7 million for 2 years. Getting the new Ford trucks, part of his NIL package, etc. Why didn't he start? Where did the guy who was the starting quarterback for Vandergrift High School in Austin, Texas, where did he go instead?
I have zero idea. I don't keep up with Texas information of every single, because I know Texas has so many different quarterbacks. So what is the lovely answer? Why didn't Drew start?
Well, a guy named Deuce Adams, who had been recruited and offered by Baylor, Boston College, Cal, Hawaii, North Texas, UTSA, Washington State, Sam Houston, Texas State, Utah State,
Wow.
Incarnate Word, and Texas Rio Grande Valley all offered him, but he ended up going with the one school I haven't mentioned yet, which is Louisville. And that's where he ended up going. He was a starter there during Drew Messmaker's senior year, and that's why, he started over Drew. Like, he's 6'2", 190. Yeah. So he ended up going to Louisville, enrolled there May 29th, 2024. So shout out to Deuce Adams. And that's his deal now. I think he transferred to Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure on this.
So that's a downgrade.
Well, you're going to Louisville, ACC.
Right.
And you transfer to Big Ten. It's not really a downgrade.
Wisconsin hasn't been the best.
No.
I mean, the last time that they were really good, wasn't it with Russell? So it's been a while. I could be missing a couple of years because I don't keep track of Wisconsin too often, but I feel like the last time was whenever Russell was there.
Fair. And I will say, he went to New Braunfels, Texas Canyon before senior year. So like a senior year he transferred. So I'm not sure why Drew didn't start before in Drew's junior year or something, but I'm already too in the weeds in this point. So
this is not a chat GPT thing that I looked up.
now I'm on 247sports.com /players/Deuce-Adams- I can give you the whole thing. Like I'm trying to make sure I get this right here. Deuce Adams, 3-star prospect coming out of high school, 81st player in the state of Texas, 34th player nationally at quarterback. I mean, like, what I'm going to talk crap on this guy or something? No, that'd be the dumbest thing ever. So you know what? Like, props to him, and he seemingly had a pretty darn good high school career from the automatic clips that play here through Huddle on 247.com. Looks fine. But like, I'm not the quarterback whisperer. I'm not that guy. I'm just trying to stay in my lane here and just say, did some research, looked up why didn't Drew Messmaker start. That's why. Anyways,
Interesting.
best spring break here. What's your best spring break story? Do you have?
So I got two. So I did quote unquote study abroads, both years. First year we did the sports management with Finch to Phoenix, which I don't know how that was a study abroad, but they said it was. So it was fun going there and seeing all the spring games and going to Ping and all that type of stuff. So that was really fun. And then the other one was I went to Dublin with OSU, and we went there and it just happened to be St. Patrick's Day. And I learned real fast that Americans made St. Patrick's Day way crazier than what they do over there. Over in Ireland, it's basically kind of like a Thanksgiving parade type of thing. And they don't like really serve alcohol until after 2 p.m., which was kind of crazy. And it was just really different. So it was just something I wasn't expecting because, Americans kind of go a little ham on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, I mean, that sounds kind of nice for sure, right?
Yeah, it was. It was very nice. And then, of course, going the other thing, too, we got to go to a LPGA Tour event that just happened to be in going on at spring break. So that was cool to actually, like, that's the first time I ever went to a tournament game style, I don't know, match. What are they called? I know the players are this weekend, but like the golf course where you got to go follow people around. That was really entertaining. Got to follow like one girl around 9 holes before we had to like leave.
I mean, again, also sounds like a fun deal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good spring break. I think
What about you?
My spring break stories. Last year I was at OSU in 2018. I mean, graduated, but like last year, we ended up driving to San Diego and back with a couple of buddies, as I did with you. We did that during winter break and saw my mom and grandpa out there, and it was a great time. Yeah, we stopped at the
You had your wallet, right?
Did have my wallet. There's one buddy forever ago that like didn't own a wallet. That was just a wild deal. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you really want to know somebody and really want to like understand who they are as a person,
Go on a 24-hour trip.
go on a more than 4-hour road trip with them. Just more than 4 hours. Just like where they're gonna have to pay for gas, or like they're gonna have to buy you a soda in the gas station, or they're gonna have to like whip out their plastic bag with cash in it. Just do that, just once. But yeah, we saw the Cadillac Stonehenge on the way out to Amarillo. We stopped several times on the way out. It was a lot of fun to spring break. I remember like literally a week or two before then I had flown out for an interview in San Diego and had seen the Oklahoma State Cowboys and Cowgirls play a tennis matches there. Ooh. And all the parents who were there were like, there's a random Oklahoma State college-aged fan here. And it's not spring break. I was like, oh yeah, no, I just got an interview Friday and happened to be at the same time. It was beautiful though. It was down in La Jolla. But then actually for spring break itself, like it was cool barely being out there and everything, going by the stadium, down in San Diego, went by Petco Park several times. We drove through spring training in Arizona. And I remember we were like, oh yeah, let's stop. And then pretty much immediately we were like, no, let's just keep going to San Diego. Like that's the whole point of this. So we just, went. It was a lot of fun. I don't have like a great like spring break, like all partied up down in Louisiana or went down to one of like the Gulf Coast beaches or anything like that. It's more sort of like family time, or hey, I'm staying around Stillwater to work some of these tennis or wrestling or whatever. Like, hey, I'm going to the baseball game this Wednesday. It's at 4, so gotta dip out of work a little bit earlier. I mean, get it of course approved, but nonetheless, and you get out there and see it because like, how many other college fans are how many other college people are going to be there? Literally, you would think maybe there'll be a lot of fans, maybe there won't. Who knows?
Maybe.
So. All right, well, to wrap this up here, spring sports, what is your official spring sport ranking as far as, when it comes down to it, if all the sports are on the same time, here's the ones I'm watching in order. Doesn't matter the opponent, whatever, but we're going to go baseball, softball, tennis, and golf.
Okay. I'm going to be biased because I love me some tennis. So I'm going to go tennis. I'm going to go softball, golf, then baseball, and then did we say track? Track is that?
You can throw track in there. Track can be just the honorable fifth. Track is really hard to watch in person. Like I mean, it just is. So like, I'm not a runner. If you see me in person, you'll understand. But yeah, I'm surprised though. You got baseball like way down there. Did you not play baseball in high school or anything?
I dabbled in it like a long time ago. I just never. My thing is like I like to go to the stadium and watch it, but like watching it on TV or playing it, as whenever I was growing up, I was always out in the outfield, and so I had the boring job, and so I didn't really do much besides kick dirt.
You didn't play high school baseball?
No, I did not play high school.
Okay,
nope.
all right.
It would be different if it was later on, but I only played it up to like 5th or 6th grade. Because I was just so bored of it because nothing was happening. Of course, if I would have waited like a couple of more years, then yes, it would have been more entertaining. But at that time, it was boring. So for me, I'm always going to put tennis because I love tennis and it's a great facility out there. And then softball girls, they just have, just the energy all the time. Golf, it's going to be harder to watch because they always are somewhere else. But it's, once you're there, the environment's very different and it's very entertaining. It's a very different experience.
But The only thing I gotta be that guy.
Yep.
So you're on one hand you're going, well, baseball, unless it's in person, and then every other sport you explained as if you're in person to watch. So are these in person or?
Oh yeah, they're all in
on TV?
person. They're all in person.
So
And
baseball is still fourth even when you're in person.
correct. I mean,
okay, all right.
I just haven't. Probably part of it is because I got a little spoiled / annoyed by living by Bennett, and all you would just hear is baseball going off all the time. So I lived in Bennett Hall, which was right next to the old baseball stadium for 3 years.
Reynolds.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So I got a great view of the game, but like, of course, I had to study.
You didn't have a great
sometimes.
view. You were on the first floor.
No, I was on the second floor. Second floor.
At least your senior year. Weren't you on the first floor your senior year?
Yeah, that was my senior year, but I was in I was in the Villages, but it was either second and third floor of Bennett, and we got a great view. We could see the scoreboard. You could see everything except for home plate. So, but it was a good view.
I like how that one of the famous things from now people listen to the podcast over the years, because you'd have to be really sticking with this all the way to the end of every podcast for years to know that basically I'm just trying to the whole thing of the podcast. I'm trying to get myself invited over to Trey's house at one point. So I mean now people are like, wait, Calvin didn't go to. No, we were Trey and I were more friends our senior year. So anyways, we watched. I remember us watching the national championship game.
Yep.
Chris Jenkins, Villanova hitting the game winner, and just hearing other people in the dormitory halls go, "Oh, yeah." As I lived, of course, off campus and did not have those same things happen. So, anyways, my official rankings here. Baseball is one for me. I wanted to play a lot more baseball in high school than I was academically eligible for. But I did play here and there. Definitely played in middle school. I'm definitely left-handed and always thinking of myself as a pitcher or first baseman, even though that's all for fun at this point. But I'd say, yeah, baseball. Softball's right there at 2. Softball. I announced softball. I know we both worked tennis, and you worked tennis before I worked tennis. That's because I was announcing softball. I was a public address announcer.
I was shocked that you didn't put softball first. That's what I thought you were going to put first.
I would put softball first if I hadn't played baseball, honestly. Honestly, because going to a softball game, see in person, is a ton of fun. I mean, in the outfield, but there'll be nothing that ever takes puts the wind in my sail more than just being able to walk up, just hold the mic real close to my face and go, now batting for Oklahoma State, number 44, Danielle Riddle. And just doing that every single time. That was most fun. Of course, I announced the game where Lauren Chamberlain for OU was in town for the Bedlam deal, and she, I think, broke the record a couple games later for most runs of the season, which has now been broken, I think, a couple more times. But those two, tennis, easy third. Tennis is so much fun to watch in person, to be honest.
It's very underrated. I will admit that.
I will say, if there was seating, man, I'm going to be that guy. If there was seating indoors that was on the side, where you weren't sitting behind the players, it'd be just a little bit more fun to watch than not. But by a tenth of it, it was always so cool to have, to be able to be the guy running down the court with the flag. And you did that a couple times. Then when you graduated and left all of us here in Stillwater alone by ourselves, I had to do it once or twice. So it was a lot.
I always just made somebody else, my kid, do it that I had that volunteer. Yep, my intern.
Yeah, but and then after tennis, golf. Can't get into Carson Creek anymore as public, so it's harder to go see golf being played. And I think there's probably rules and ways around it. But either way, I don't know. Those are our official rankings. So Trey, anything else here before we wrap up?
We'll start filling out those brackets. That's for sure.
We'll be filling out our brackets. I'm sure sharing them for fun. We'll do a women's bracket for CGA Tour. I'll post it here once the podcast goes live. Thanks so much for everyone for listening. Appreciate the support, and go Pokes.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow Poke, helping you protect what matters.
Yeah.